Hi, I'm Kate, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Washington State. Welcome to my weekly YouTube video and blog featuring some of the most current products from Stampin' Up! The projects I share here feature current projects and vary from very simple for a quick card to make and to a more complex for that time when you want something very special. I also sell the Stampin' Up! Products used in this video, and I hope you enjoy my free tutorial and would love to have you shop with me. Check out my blog at www.katespapercreations.org for a link to my online store. And let me share with you what I'm making today. I have been featuring recently the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. So this is the bundle, has these stamps in there, and then also has dies for cutting out a lot of those, plus some branches and different things. So that's what we're going to be using today to make this card. And I'll take it out of the protective sleeve here so you don't get reflection when you're trying to look at it. And it turned out really cute. So let me tell you how we made that card. I started out with Whisper White Thick. I use that for my card bases because it's sturdier and holds up better. And so I use Whisper White Thick. I cut it 5.5 by 8.5, scored it at 4 1/4, and that will make a side fold A2 greeting card. That's how I got started. Then I cut a piece of Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper, and I cut it 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to attach it to the front of the card just flat. Like this. And I'm going to do this like I usually do, where I hold it up and get these three sides even, and then you can just lay it down and it sits perfectly on the front of your card. So there's the front of the card for the base, and we're going to set that aside. The next thing I did was I cut a piece of Whisper White Regular, and I cut this 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, so when it's attached to the front of the card it'll leave just a 1/16 of an inch border around, just a little skinny tiny border. Okay, then I took the large outline die from this die set and I cut the window, what I call the window, out of that. Okay, the next thing I did was stamp the leaves with Just Jade, and I'm going to stamp a set of them up here and a set of them down here. And then I wanted them colored in, so I used a blender pen where you can get just a little bit of ink on the blend, and I want it softer so that it'll let the accent marks show through, and I'm just going to color those leaves in like this. There's those two. And there's that too. So those are ready to go. We'll close this up for now. Okay, then I ran this through and I embossed this piece, and I used the Tasteful it's actually Tasteful Textile 3D folder, and so I put that in here and embossed it. Let me go do that real quick. For this particular folder, all we have to do is the base plate, the folder with the paper inside, and the blue embossing plate, and that will create the sandwich necessary for embossing that. Run that through real quick. And there's our piece, all embossed and ready to go. Okay, now I attached this to the card front. Get that over here. and I just attached it with regular adhesive. Just like that. Remember, it has a 1/16 of an inch, so it's very, very small border. I'm going to do it this way again. I like doing it this way better. When you emboss things, it has a tendency to change the sizing just a little bit, so you may have a little bit of a difference, but there we go. So there, that's in place. Then I cut a 3.5 inch square piece of Whisper White, and I covered the back with the double-sided adhesive sheets, and I cut it out with this die that's in the die set. Now when I cut this out, I used a shim so that I would be sure to get through all of the pieces and be able to get a good clean cut. So I have this piece of silicone sheeting that I had, and I placed that between the this cutting plate and this, and then this goes on this on here, and then the die went in there and this went on top. So that's the sandwich I used to cut this out. Now let's get it out of here. Just like that. Got a few pieces we need to help out a little bit. Definitely got a good cut. And I want these little dots out of the way too. Sometimes they don't come out, and that's okay if you don't care, but I want them out of there, so I'm gonna work on getting them removed. Let's do that. And if I'd used my little die brush, it probably would have come out a lot quicker, but that's okay. We'll just do it this way. Almost done. There we go. Get those little chads out of the way. Okay, then this is going to go into the window here that we cut out earlier, and you'll want to make sure you know where it goes. And there's two little kind of hooked shaped petals here, and you can find them fairly easily on the main piece, so it's pretty easy to line them up. So now I want to peel off that backing, and I may have to use my little pokey tool here to get it started. There we go. Got it started, and then just carefully peel it off, and everything is sticky and ready to go. So I'm looking for those two little hook-shaped petals that are going to go right here, and I'm going to put them in first. Oops, there we go. Line them up. It's just like a puzzle piece. It's going to fit right inside that window, perfectly inside that window, and it's on there flat as well. That double-sided adhesive works so nicely for that. Okay, then I cut a piece of this gingham ribbon, and I just put adhesive all the way across. I'm going to cut one end straight, nice, clean, and straight like that. And I am going to lay it on here across the front. I could have wrapped the ends around, but I decided not to do that way. This works too. Just like that. So that gives me that piece. And then for the cute little trifold things here, I just cut 3 pieces of this Just Jade gingham ribbon, which is part of the Flowers Forever ribbon combo, and I just put a little touch of adhesive on the end and folded them over. These are 2.5 inches long, and they make a perfect size for what I want to do, and this holds them together. And I just made 3 little loops like this. And then I put another little bit of snail there and there on just two of them, and created this little try thing. I put the middle one in the front and the other two behind it, and just slightly offset like that. Okay, and then I attached it. I put some more snail in the back of that section, and I attached it right here like this. And that's going to get covered up, so that's not a big deal. Then I used these layering circles dies, and I used this die right here, which is approximately 1 1/4 inch circle, and I punched it out, which gives me this lovely little scalloped edge. And on this one I used itty bitty greetings, here it is, and I used this sending prayers, and I'm going to stamp that with Memento black. Let me get a stamping block, and I'm just going to stamp it right in the center. Oh, there, I dropped it. Okay, let's try that again. We'll just turn it over and use it again. It'll be okay. Okay, so there's that. And then I wanted it to stand out a little bit more from the front, so I pulled out my in color daubers and got my Just Jade dauber and a little bit of ink here, and I inked the edge all the way around, just like that. Quick and easy. And then I put that on with dimensionals. Sometimes my desk gets so messy, and because I'm straddling that ribbon and that, I put one on the bottom and the top like this, and so it straddles the ribbon, and I want to just cover up the very end of that. And so it's going to go right to the edge of the card and sit there just like that. And then for the final touch, I couldn't resist these beautiful little butterfly gems, and they are so cute, and they're tiny, and they're just adorable. And I put a couple of these butterfly gems, and this color of this is supposed to be the Pretty Peacock, but it matches really well with everything here. And so there was the final touch, and there's the card I made today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by.